and close at 9:30 a.m. sharp. Please arrive during this hour to take advantage of the JSC parking for the Sunday service. Amen.
Hello, everybody. I'm Karen Sugiyama, and I just have a quick reminder that, as you may have already seen in the emails and also in the Padma, there's a group of us that are planning a retirement event for Reverend Dr. David Matsumoto, who was a longtime minister here at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, and was also a professor and the president of the Institute of Buddhist Studies, which is right next door. So his event is being planned at the Mountain View Buddhist Temple on June 15th, and as part of the festivities, I guess, we are collecting things for his memory book, which will take the form of inserts into an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook. So I know that many of you will probably write your own personal notes and cards to him, but if you have personal memories, photographs, you want to write a poem, your kids want to make a drawing or something, or if you want to riff on his theme of today is today, please submit your contribution in an 8.5 by 11 format. You can either email it to me, you can drop it off at the temple here, or let's see. And that was it. So anyway, just a reminder that we are collecting things for his memory book, and if possible, we would like to have it by June 10th. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm D.I. Lewis. I would like to call your attention to an event being held at the Presidio Theater. Brenda Wong Aoki, the renowned storyteller, is telling the great story of her family, which starts in Scotland to Australia, China, Japan, Utah. It's an amazing story, and it's being filmed. So if you can, tonight, I think it's the last presentation that's being made. So please go to the Presidio Theater. I think it starts at 7, and I'm sure they have tickets. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So now the students will be dismissed to their classes and their end of the school year party. So with the Dharma School students, please go to the front, gasho, and then go outside. All others are invited to remain for the adult Dharma talk.
it's always fun to see, kids doing a oshoko. Yeah, I think it's interesting, putting powder on the charcoal and the smoke, coming. So, yeah. なんだったっけ。違う。Okay, so now I'm going to start the message for adult. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gasho. How to listen to a Dharma message. I listen as if I'm listening for the first time. I listen as if the message is for myself alone. I listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 弔問の心。この度のこのご縁は初事と思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべしと。ナマンダーブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツ。Again, I'm going to continue my Dharma message using Vesak. And I think about 4 years ago, because of this IBAA, actually this IBAA is very close to us. Do you know the Dharma College? Which is like a Tibetan, like a Buddhist school next to the Berkeley, Maine post office. There's a big building. And then that is the kind of Dharma College. And then that is a part of this IBAA. And then Wanguma Dixie, some of you are familiar with her because Asian Cultural Festival, like past couple of years, BBT were also engaged in the city of Berkeley. Yeah. And then she's the president of IBAA, Dharma College. And then actually she's the one who pushed this event, Vesak at the White House. And then second gentleman, husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, he pushed, supported this event. So that's how, we could have a Vesak inside in the White House. Yeah. And then another interesting thing is, I said we had about 100 people attended. And then the chairperson of the Vesak at the White House was a person from Emmanji. So the White House, some stuff, like a communication kind of things. And then APAA, Asian Pacific Islanders, there is a group. And then that day, the person who was in charge or kind of chairperson for the event was a person from kind of young, I think he's late 20s, Mizuhara-san だったかな? Mr. Mizuhara. He said he was from Emmanji. So it's kind of coincidence, a small world. And Haruta sensei gave a speech, and that is about an hour or so, nice event. And then after Vesak at the White House, there is a candle walk at the Washington Monument. So this is a Washington Monument. There is a circle around the tower. That's where we kind of circumambulation, or maybe we kind of walked. So this is a picture of, maybe it's better because it's a candle walk. If the outside is dark, that would be, better. But still, I think that is a 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Still, very, bright. So yeah, sounds like somebody carrying something in hand and the people walking around. Yeah. It's that is evening time, night time. That would be, a little bit more beautiful. But this is what happened. Yeah. And then so before we started the candle walk, we, participants and the monks gathered, and then we took a group picture. Yeah. And then one lady, she was coordinating that, that is about 200 or 300 people there. And then she tried to make a nice group picture. And then because this is a gathering of Buddhists, she wanted to have a group picture with Gasho. Yeah. So, but so many people, and then it's hard to, control the situation. And then she said with a loud voice, please put down your stuff, your items, whatever you have, and then put your hands together. And she wanted to have a group picture. To me, of course, this is more like instructions to take a picture with a gassho. But to me, this is what I said. Oh, that's a Buddhistic, instruction. Kind of let it go, like dropping attachment, right? Drop what you have in your hands and then put your hands together. Of course, this is logistically, for a group picture. But spiritually, religiously, this is like a Buddhist message. Yeah. And then this is what I said. And then actually, this gentleman, he was from Apple. He was from one of the, I think, board or kind of executive board of Apple. And then he also gave a speech at the White House. Yeah. And then he was next to me. He was laughing when I said this. But anyway, so White House, Vesak 2 p.m., and then candle walk at 5. So we had some time in between. Bishop Harada, Bishop Umitani, three of us. After Vesak at the White House, we just, waiting for this candle walk at the Washington Monument. And then, it's muggy, very humid. I'm so used to like a California dry weather, but if you go to East Coast, kind of high humidity, like to me it's like a Japan. So let's have a short break, and then let's go. Let's have a coffee. Yeah? So we try to find a coffee shop, and then actually there is a one. So across the street of the White House, Pete's Coffee. And actually, there's a Starbucks next to it. And then Bishop Harada and Bishop Umitani, myself, we talked which coffee shop we should go, Starbucks or Pete's. And then Bishop Umitani said, "Oh, there is no Pete's in Hawaii." Then so let's go Pete's, right? So just across the street, so we went to Pete's. Kind of from me from Berkeley, it's kind of we are proud to have a Pete's just across the street of White House, and then we had some iced coffee, and then I used the restroom, and then I found this. So those are the logos of Pete's Coffee. Maybe some of you who have a more life experience than me may know those logos. So this one is, I think, 60s. This is a 1960s Pete's logo, it says. This is a logo, 70s. Yeah, I think 1970s Pete's logo. Yeah. I don't know, maybe before I was born. But this is now. Yeah. And at the bottom, it says, our looks change, our coffee stays the same. I need to give a Dharma message almost every Sunday. And then I always look for something for my Dharma message. And then in the restroom, this is nice. So in the restroom, I picked up my cell phone and took a picture. Yeah. And so this is kind of my Dharma message for today. Pete, I don't know when they started, but probably 60s or so. And started in Berkeley, right? And then how many years? I think a long history as a coffee shop. But their looks, logo different, but they try to serve the same quality coffee. And then how about the Buddhism? So Buddhism started in India. That day we are at Washington, D.C., right? And then so from India to Washington, D.C., Buddhism came, right? And then Shakyamuni Buddha was born in India about 2,500, 600 years ago, many, many years ago. But this 21st century, we could have a Vesak, right? So geographically and then time, so there is a big gap, right? But we have Buddha Dharma here. So my question to you is, what is it that stays the same, Buddhism or Buddha Dharma, right? I said that there are, after Shakyamuni Buddha, in the course of Buddha Dharma development, like a Mahayana Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, Vajrayana, Tibetan Buddhism tradition. And then within each tradition, there are many different schools. Although path, schools, are changing, kind of diversified, but there is something in common under the big umbrella of Buddhism. What is it? Dharma. Yes, ありがとうございます。Any other your response to this question? What is it? For over 2,500 years, and then from different places. Now, not only in the U.S., Europe, Africa, the Buddhism is all over the world. I'm sure Shakyamuni Buddha would be surprised if he were here. And then, what is it that Buddha Dharma is the one thing? What else? Oneness. Yeah, oneness. So this one is a unity. Is one theme. Oneness is one concept. When in the course of spreading the Dharma. Yes. A character of Buddha. Yeah, right. So this is a Buddhism, like a teaching of Buddha. So this, a teaching, religion is based upon the Buddha's teaching or Buddha himself. Yeah, because of Shakyamuni Buddha, we could have this teaching. And then because of the Buddha, we have Buddhism. I know to this question, there are many different answers. And then I hope you to discover this question in the course of your deep listening of the Dharma. And then today, I am going to use a couple phrases, Dharma phrases from the Dhammapada. So Dhammapada is a collection of Shakyamuni Buddha's words. And then there are many different English translations. And so this is one translation from the book I'm using. So this is a phrase, Dhammapada 75. Choose the path that leads to nirvana. So nirvana is one thing. So in Buddhism, we call three seals or three things. Impermanence, and then non-self, and then nirvana. So those are the kind of major essentials of Buddhism, three seals. So nirvana is one of the three seals of Buddha. And then choose the path that leads to the nirvana, yes. Avoid the road to profit and then pleasure of myself. And then remember this always, all disciples of the Buddha, and then strive always for wisdom. So another thing, Buddhism, that, what makes Buddhism is, to me, wisdom. Buddha's wisdom is a center essence of Buddha Dharma, Buddhism too. Because, so this is another phrase from Dhammapada. The immature, this translation uses immature. Maybe you can imagine what it means, immature, in this context. The immature who know they are immature have a little knowledge, but the immature who look on themselves as wise are, utterly, foolish. This is another phrase from Dhammapada. So maybe, sometimes I use the phrase, we are perfectly imperfect. Right? Here the expression is immature, but perfectly imperfect. So we are not a Buddha yet. So that's why what we say, what we think, what we do is not perfect enough. Right? So that's why there is a chance, room to give trouble, harm other people. So that's why it's very, very important to truly know ourselves, what we are saying, what we are doing in our everyday life, right? So to do so, wisdom is very, very important. Sometimes wisdom in Buddhism is compared to light, Buddha's light. So with the light of wisdom, then although we are spiritually maybe in the darkness, But this Buddha's light shows us who we are, what we are doing in our everyday life, right? And this, knowledge, by knowing what we are doing, what we are saying, thinking, then we can start improve our everyday life. So that's why wisdom is very, very important. Kind of opposite of foolishness. And then another phrase, more than those who hate you, more than all your enemies, an undisciplined mind does great harm. More than your mother, more than your father, more than any of your family, a well-disciplined mind does a greater good. This is another wonderful phrase from Buddha. So again, because of our ignorance, because of our blind passions, so that's why sometimes what we do harm other people. Especially today, so many fight, wars, conflict all over. So that's why it's very important to know who I am. And then, so that's why Buddhism says, discipline, mind, right? And then how our mind's heart is nurtured. I think Buddha's wisdom, and then Buddha's compassion is kind of aspiration, which Buddha wants to nurture our heart, discipline our heart, so that we can live a spiritually fulfilled life. We can live a spiritually enriched life. So that's why Buddha Dharma is very, very important for our guidance. And then, so to me, since Shakyamuni Buddha up until this 21st century, from India to this United States country, this Buddha's wisdom and compassion is the same, never, changed. In other words, as a Buddhist, by receiving Buddha's, wisdom, Buddha's light, and then nurtured in Buddha's compassion, that's how we can spiritually grow. And then by doing so, we can achieve or make a contribution of the achievement of peace with our disciplined heart, our heart with the Dharma and the compassion. That's how we can practice love. And then when more people, get together, or more people in this society, we can see more unity, oneness in this world. So that's why Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, changes our heart of each of us. And then that's how we can improve, work together for the more peaceful, harmonious world. So, in other words, each of you, each of us has a great responsibility to share this Dharma, Buddha's wisdom, and then spread the compassion with more people. So, again, thank you very much for attending today's service. This is my Dharma message for today. I would like to conclude my Dharma message with a gasho. So, if you can, please put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namo. Now, I'd like to say thank you to all those who have today's service possible. First, I'd like to say thank you to Zora for being a wonderful chairperson. ありがとうございました. Thank you. And then thank you, BBT live streaming team, for your help during today's live streaming service. ありがとうございました. Thank you. They are always behind the scene, but they are there. And then thank you, Emiko-san, for playing the beautiful piano for Gasa today. ありがとうございました. And then thank you, Dharma School teachers, for your guidance to our Dharma School students. ありがとうございます. Thank you. And then thank you, Tara, for being a minister's assistant today, for assisting me. ありがとうございます. Thank you. And then thank you, Jun Toban. I know this is your first Sunday, but from, I know 5 Mondays, ごめんなさい, 5 Sundays for June, but thank you, June monthly group, for helping refreshment or like things after the service. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます. So this concludes today's service. Thank you everyone who joined the service today in person and then virtually. See you next week.